Feeling lonely even when you're surrounded by people, you're not imagining it. This is one of the most disconnected times in history, yet we barely talk about why. Friendships feel harder to maintain, plans fall through constantly, and even with hundreds of online connections, you might still feel completely unseen. Here's the thing, this isn't your fault, and you're definitely not alone in this. Think about this. When was the last time you had a spontaneous, unplanned hangout? No agenda, no pressure, just showing up and laughing until your stomach hurt. For most of us, those moments are vanishing. Instead, we're stuck in this weird limbo where we're around people all the time, online, at work, in crowded spaces, but we've never felt more alone. This isn't just about being busy, it's deeper. We've replaced presence with performance. Every interaction feels like it needs to be worth something: Instagrammable, productive, or perfectly curated. Even friendships now come with invisible spreadsheets. What can they do for me? Do they fit my vibe? Is this worth my time? We've turned connection into a transaction. Technology plays a huge role in this, but not in the way you might think. It's not just that we're scrolling instead of talking, it's that we've outsourced our social lives to apps. We wait for a text instead of knocking on a door. We assume a like equals care. We think keeping up with someone's story means we're close. But screens can't replace the messy, unpredictable magic of real life connection. Then there's hustle culture. We've been sold this idea that every second must be productive. Side hustles, self improvement, grinding 24/7. But here's reality: you can't optimize friendship. And when we treat people like items on a to do list, for instance, catch up with Sarah in 15 minutes, we drain the joy out of being together. Emotional burnout is another issue. Most people are so drained from work, stress, and the weight of daily life that they have nothing left to give. You might text a friend and they don't reply, not because they don't care, but because they're emotionally underwater. The problem, when everyone feels like this, connection weakens. We've also overtrimmed our social circles. Those self care trends told us to cut out toxic people, which is valid when someone's truly harmful, but now we ghost at the first awkward moment. We expect friendships to be effortless, perfectly aligned, and never messy. But real connection can be at times messy, and it can require patience, forgiveness, and showing up when it's not convenient. Another issue? We've turned hobbies into side hustles. Remember when people played sports just for fun? Or joined book clubs to talk, not to grow a personal brand? Now, everything's monetized. If it doesn't boost your resume or followers, it feels like a waste of time. But hobbies used to be where friendships happen. No pressure, just shared joy. We're also waiting for the perfect friend group. Thanks to TV and social media, we expect a friend style squad that never argues, always gets us, and is available 24/7. But real friendships can be uneven. Sometimes you're the one reaching out, sometimes plans fall through, and that's okay because those uneven connections are still worth having. When romantic relationships get all the attention, friendships can quietly fade. We pour our energy into dating, but neglect the people who've been there for us for years. Then one day we look up and realize we've got a partner and no one else to call on. Love is important, but it can't be your only emotional support. Unfortunately, the disappearance of third places made this worse. Cafés, parks, community centers, these were once where people accidentally connected. Now, we're either at work, home, or staring at our phones in between. Being vulnerable can be a risk. We're so used to performing, being funny, smart, put together, that admitting loneliness feels embarrassing. So we stay quiet, assuming no one else feels this way. But really, so many people are lonely, they're just afraid to say it first. And the biggest myth? That connection should happen to us. We wait for invites, for someone else to make the first move. But friendship isn't passive, it's a skill like cooking or dancing. If you don't practice, you forget how. And right now, most of us are out of practice. So here's the good news: we can fix this. It starts with small choices. Why not text first? Say yes to the awkward coffee date. Host a terrible movie night where no one pays attention. Connection doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to happen. Put that phone down. Um, Not all day, just long enough to look around, smile at the barista, chat with your neighbor. These tiny moments remind us that we're still part of a community, even when it feels like we're floating alone. Just show up, even when it's inconvenient. Just go to that birthday party or attend that random work happy hour. Um, Most of life's best connections happen in the unplanned, in between moments we'd usually skip. Be the one who reaches out. Yeah, it sucks when you're always the planner, um, but someone has to be. And often people are grateful. They're just stuck in that same cycle of hesitation and embrace the awkward. So, what if the conversation lulls? So, what if you're bad at small talk? Authenticity is magnetic, and the right people will meet you there. And don't always assume the worst. That friend who didn't reply to your text, well, they may be drowning in their own stuff. Um, Go and rediscover third places. How about that band playing on Friday night, or spend an hour at the park somewhere and people watch? Be around people without an agenda because presence is the first step to connection, and prioritize consistency over intensity. You don't need grand suggestions, just a quick, hey, thinking of you, or a monthly coffee date is simple and will keep the bond alive. Let go of the Facebook friend group. One or two deep connections are worth more than a dozen surface level ones. When you open up about your loneliness, others will too. You'll quickly realize you're not alone in this. Time with people isn't wasted. It's what makes life meaningful. Just start small. You could reconnect with one old friend or maybe join one club. Progress beats perfection. Remember, friendship isn't always about convenience, it's about choice. Choosing to show up again and again, this isn't just a sad story, it's a wake up call. We're all hungry for the same thing: to be seen and to belong. And the fix isn't complicated, it's only a little hard because it requires courage. The courage to be the one who cares out loud. And when that one person chooses connection, others will follow. It's contagious. Your bravery gives permission to someone else. This isn't the end of friendship, it's a new beginning if we're willing to reach for it. So take a deep breath and take the first step because the world is waiting for you. Thank you for listening, and I want to say thank you to all 98 subscribers. YouTube is very new to me, but we're having a good time with it and hope you stay with us.